Boom, welcome to the Sebs Show, everybody. It's your boy Sebs and co-host Gib. Today we are previewing UFC 230, Cormier versus Lewis. Great card, top to bottom, as they usually say, but this one's actually really good, man. A lot of great young talent on this card. I like it a lot, especially from a betting standpoint. I got 6 bets up, gonna add a 7th after the show here. I just gotta research one more fight, but yeah, so far confident. Let's start off already with our fight pass prelims. Adam Wieczorek versus Marcos Rogerio de Lima. All right, so Adam Wieczorek didn't impress me that much against Anthony Hamilton. Went 3 rounds with him. Beat him, but it was looking a little saucy for that for those 15 minutes or whatever. And then he goes and he gets taken down by Arjun Buller. Arjun Buller really rides on top of him for the entire first round. Yeah, and then he comes and he does an omoplata second round. I believe it was. Yeah, nice omoplata. Second guy to ever do it. But you can't be pulling out Hail Mary submissions all the time out your ass. Rogerio de Lima is a guy who hits he hits fucking hard, man. They call him Peizao. Did he? No, he got St. Crucho.
Yeah.
And he also yeah, St. Crucho. That was his last fight, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he got manhandled by Gazimard onto Gulov. He was on the Ultimate Fighter as well and stuff. But yeah, man, this is a guy who moving up to heavyweight. He's never been that big for light heavyweight, but let's see how he does at heavyweight. I think he can knock out Adam Wieczorek here, so I'm gonna go with Marco Rogerio de Lima to get the knockout. How about you, Dib?
Yeah, I gotta side with you on that. Adam Wieczorek, he had a great game, I have to admit. I mean, he was getting beaten by Arjun Buller, and he did pull off a Hail Mary, but I mean, even after pulling off the omoplata, Arjun Buller had to just, really accept that loss, and he was really upset, but he knew he got caught in a really big move, especially because Arjun Buller has that style where he throws you to the fence and beats you up. And I like how Wozniak almost saw it coming, because that's all he's doing, and he's getting hit by it. Pulled off the really nice submission there. Obviously in a losing fight. His striking could be a little touch and go. And against Marcos Rogerio de Lima, man, he blitzes forward a lot, fights off the fence, has some great boxing, and some good hands up when he slips. I think you should check out his fight with Clint Hester. 1 minute into their fight, once on the floor, Lima really worked the ground and pound and got him in an arm triangle. Really beat up Hester bad in that fight. Was punching for the fences in most of his fights, actually. In the first round, spams kicks, and when he lands them, man, he can start landing his punches as well after. I think he's going to always look for that big knockout punch in the very first round, and it's not something that Adam's really good with, especially since he has to deal with Arjun Bullers. And I think this could be a knockout fight too.
Yeah, I like it. I think it. I wonder what the fight doesn't go to decision is, but that might be a nice play as well. All right, moving along. We got Brian Kelleher taking on Montel Jackson, and this is a bet I've not placed yet, but I'm liking Montel Jackson a lot after just recently finishing his tape. I have to do a couple of Kelleher's, or like 1 or 2 of his Kelleher's fights. But overall, I do like Montel Jackson a lot in this position from what I remember about Kelleher. I think he's going to be able to negate any grinding against the cage or anything like that. I think he's going to be able to make the stand up. And he's got a 75.5-inch reach. And he's 5'10". He's a big boy for bantamweight.
For sure.
He's got some nasty knees inside the clinch. He's got some great wrestling. Even though he's taken down a lot by Ricky Simone, he's got some good offensive wrestling if you watch him. Apparently, he was like he was training at the Olympic Center or some shit like that. I don't know, but he's got some good wrestling. Yeah, so I'm going with Montel Jackson here. I think he gets this job. I think he finishes Brian Kelleher in the second round.
You know what? Montel Jackson definitely got rocked by Ricky Simone in that one, and it was due to just Ricky Simone's constant takedowns. But at the same time, Montel Jackson is a bum rush champion. If this guy gets you off the trigger and just starts throwing punches, starts running forward, gets you to the fence, it can go south for you. It is a bit of a double-edged sword as Montel Jackson has blitzed forward and missed a few times or been off of a bit of submission trouble. But other than that, I mean, he's one of those bait and switch guys. He's good at almost being there to be hit, but I mean, he can easily back up or do like a bit of a lean, throw a big shot, and he's always looking for it. I can see him a little tired in the third round because he really does look for those sprints and those really quick first few punches. Pretty good at getting out of submissions too, especially if his leg's being trapped. The Wayne Marker fight will show you what type of fighter he is, especially how he gets off the fence in that one. Brian Kelleher, on the other hand, I really like his fight with Damian Stasiak. If you like spinning shit, watch that fight. Brian Kelleher takes a nasty spinning kick to the body, marches forward like nothing happened. And the spinning kick was really bad for him, but landed a lot of good uppercuts, has a really good fence pressure. I like his boxing a lot, actually. I wish he lands that uppercut a lot more because in his fights where he's successful with it, man, it's a big shot. And almost just like Montel Jackson, he blitzes forward too and misses quite a bit. So he can be a little too to the stand. You can be a little bit of trouble on the stand-up, and he's got a great, quick, fast guillotine ready for you once he hits the ground. It's going to be a weird fight. I want to see what kind of boxing happens in this one. I think this is going to be
Montel has the striking advantage in my opinion.
The power, yeah. But, I mean, Kelleher's got some nice uppercuts. I can see Montel Jackson bombing him, though. But you can't take that one away from Brian Kelleher. He's a tough fighter. I got Montel Jackson, though.
Yeah. Next up, Hurricane Shane Burgos taking on Kurt Holobaugh. This is a fucking fight of the night candidate if I ever seen one. Yep. This is a fire matchup. Shane Burgos taking a while off of his last loss against Calvin Kattar. That devastating uppercut and whatnot. Both he was undefeated at the time, 10-0. And right before that, knocks out, or he doesn't knock out, he just puts on such a great performance against Godofredo Pepe and really showcases all of his skills in the striking range, inside the pocket, outside the pocket. I think the most impressive thing about him is how calm he is inside the pocket. He's very, very calm inside the pocket while throwing bombs. And when most guys are throwing bombs with their eyes closed inside the pocket, his eyes are wide open and he's very alert of shots coming back his way. He's very good counterpuncher. His fight against Charles Rosa knocks him out. Looks good. His boxing is just superb. But coming from Tiger Showman's a great camp, I think Burgos is on his way up, man, in featherweight. And he's taking on a guy in Kurt Holobaugh who fought Ronnie Barcelos. Ronnie Barcelos is fucking no joke. Let me tell you, that guy's the second coming of Aldo. That guy is very nasty. Just fucking disgusting combinations. I can't wait to watch him fight again.
I'm gonna check that one out actually.
The Rioni Barcelos. You didn't watch that fight? Rioni Barcelos was hot. Wow, what a fucking finish he puts on him. 4 straight power punches, as Jimmy Smith likes to call it. 4 straight power punches to end. It was like a and he just knocks out Kurt Holobaugh there in the 3rd round. Before that, Holobaugh had his fight against Bassett, made it look like easy work and stuff. Got caught for using the IV or whatever, but nothing big. This guy's been in fights against Andre Harrison, man. Like tough fights. Andre Harrison fight. He's been 5 rounds with Andre Harrison. And this is he's no joke to Holobaugh. But let me tell you this, he's no Shane Burgos in the striking category. And if I'm gonna have to pick a guy who's gonna, I think Shane Burgos is gonna light his ass up because Rioni Barcelos lit his ass up, and there's lots of points where Kurt Holobaugh drops his hands after hooks and leaves his entire face wide open. And I think Burgos is going to capitalize on that with his quick hands and might be able to get a knockout or something. I'm thinking about playing the under 2.5 here. Yeah, man, the under 2.5 might be. I might play the under 2.5 right now. I got Burgos ready. I don't know, but I'm liking the under 2.5. The fight doesn't go to decision here. I think that's a capable possibility. But both guys have really good chins, so
it's gonna be a slugfest for sure.
Yeah, this might be. I'm thinking this is fight of the night. I got Burgos in the parlay though with somebody later in the card, 4.1 units. Yeah. So I got Burgos in this fight.
I really liked Kurt Holobaugh's crazy fast knockout over Woodard. That ridiculous high kick. Good body shot. Makes use of timing shots as well. He can hold on to submissions for a little too long, getting him a little bit tired if they do get back up. But he's got good trick punches, and he likes to set up for that guillotine too. Shane Burgos, though, I mean, he's got that stop and fire, and when he isn't stopping and kind of moving his head, I mean, he's got the kicks, crazy double right kick, and it'll keep you kind of moving. If he sees you moving constantly to your to his right, man, he's gonna catch you with 2 or 3 possibly. He's been known to throw rapid punches in the same arm or same leg. He likes to back people up, lots of pressure. Great, you're in Muay Thai trouble basically on the feet. Fast, scrambly on the chokes, especially. He's got a few chokes, especially you got him a lot early on. Recently, he's been getting the knockouts, and again had a great fight against Magomed Sharapov. No joke at all. So hey, I got Shane Burgos in this too.
That'd be a fucking crazy fight. Did you just say him versus the Beat?
Yeah.
That'd be a crazy fight if you fought him. That'd be fucking insane.
Good. You could fight Zabit, especially after this if he wins it. I don't know.
I think Zabit's a little bit too high in the rankings, but that'd be a crazy fight.
I'd like to see him up there to get it. Yeah.
All right. So next up, we got Lando Groovy, Lando Vannata taking on Matt the Steamboat Frevola. You guys know me, man. I was big on Frevola coming in. I interviewed him right after his fight against Luke Flores when he got that got that arm triangle. He looked good in that fight too. Knocked him down. Showed power in his hands, but man, he's hittable. He's very hittable. And then in his fight against Polo Reyes, he showed he's even more hittable, and he gets knocked out, starts slugging. It doesn't look good at all. And I just think if Lando can avoid that knockout shot, Lando's gonna piece this kid up, man. Lando's looking for a win. He hasn't had a win in a while since UFC 206. This has been a while for him. It's been damn well almost 2 years, man, since his last win. Like, I know he got a draw since against Bobby Green, but Lando's a good fighter.
Yeah, but he had to go up against Ferguson. That was a tough fight.
That was his first fight, but then he went against David. His fight against David Tamer, where Tamer lit him up, and then against Bobby Green, he lost against Bobby Green after doing that stupid knee on the ground. He got a point taken away and ended up losing the last 2 rounds, and got a draw there. So the guy he's looking for his win here, and I think he gets it. I think he gets a highlight reel knockout here. Maybe another spinning back heel kick or whatever. So I got 4 units on Lando Vannata at minus 265.
Yeah, Lando has a very loose, kind of ready for anything type of style. Amazing fight against Ferguson. Yeah, I mean, he's definitely felt the loss a few times, but I almost think that makes you better because it realizes, or you start to realize what works, what doesn't, and he's really killing it on the on his way earlier fights, especially against Ramiko Blackman. Destroyed him with kicks, especially in the first round, and like. For the Ferguson fight, as crazy as it is, submission trouble is something that he puts other people in. So that just shows you how good, how high level Ferguson's jiu-jitsu is. Matt Frevola, on the other hand, he's winning one fight on Contender Series against Flores, who also has some submission potential, actually. It almost looked a little bit weird throwing bombs back and forth. Matt Frevola kept his composure, though. I thought he got a series of big hooks, and he got a good knockdown. Lost to Ryan Reyes, though, in the first round of their fight in his actual big UFC debut, which, again, he's going to have to learn from. But, in his fight on the Contender Series, he took a crazy knee, and he still got the takedown on Flores, and I like how much he's willing to keep the pressure going to get that takedown and get people on the fence, throw that high kick every now and then. I think he got the high kick right over Frivola's shoulder, like when he was up against the fence. He also had a fight that could have been with Mike Perry early on, but I think it got canceled. I'm curious how that would have turned out, actually, because it was early in both of their careers. He shoots for the takedown all the time, and he got an arm triangle win over Frevola. So I actually think that he might take out Lando, actually.
Frevola got an arm triangle win over who? Oh, over Flores.
Yeah, to get on,
yeah. It's a possibility he beats Lando. I just don't see it happening, especially if it's in the stand-up. Levels above him.
I think he's going to have to keep pushing for that takedown and just go for it constantly. And then once he gets him on the floor, then it might be a little closer to his game. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's still good on the ground too, so.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that fight. Next up is Lyman Good versus Ben Saunders. And Ben Saunders coming off that loss against Sergio Moraes not too long ago at UFC St. Paulo, about a month and a half ago, and then finishing Jake Ellenberger before that. Sorry, but Saunders before these fights, especially taking this fight on short notice, this isn't you can tell with Lyman Good striking here. Lyman Good's got some powerful fucking kicks, got some heavy hands. the fight against Zaleski, I think Zaleski was just a better fighter than Lyman. I think he made him quit, and that's something that worries me about Lyman, especially at the price he is at -600. If you're playing Lyman, he does quit, man. So know that. But I'm going Lyman here. He's just too many tools to. He can finish Ben Saunders pretty much anytime. I think he finishes Ben Saunders inside the distance.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you on that one. Saunders is a submission extraordinaire, and I really like how he implements his knees to his game. Spams kicks, and he has a great jab. And once he hits the floor, he's right into rubber guard. Straight out of 10th Planet, obviously. But on the stand-up, I mean, if he's not landing those kicks and keeping opponents back, he's in a bit of trouble on the stand-up. And Lehman Good is a good striker. He's got some nasty hand and foot speed. He likes to throw kicks, duck, and then go for punches. He counters back quick. Really good at smashing on the over top and running forward with more punches. Nasty uppercut, actually. Great knockout over Daniel Craig. Super brutal ground and pound. But recently, they got a split decision with Zaleski.
Yeah.
I think he's good at timing opponents' kicks, especially if they're to the body and landing that big overhand. So I think that'll actually be really beneficial in this fight, especially since Saunders can kind of go heavy on the leg kicks when he has nothing else and the jab isn't landing. And on the ground, maybe Saunders could pull it off and Hail Mary it. If anything, a guy from 12th Planet could Hail Mary it. But I still think he loses the fight on the stand-up, even with the knees and kicks.
Yeah, I agree. Next up, got Julio Arce taking on Shimon Moraes, and this comes down to, man, this striker versus striker. But Julio Arce actually has got a very nasty choke, very good on the ground as well. So I shouldn't say that. So Shaman. But this is potentially, I see this as a stand-up battle. Shaman's going to try and use those kicks, but Julio Arce's boxing, I think, is going to be the difference here. I think it's too much pressure. I think he puts way too much pressure on people, always stalking them. He's the better grappler here if he wants to take it down to the max. And I think he negates the leg kicks with coming in close and just really putting a beating on Shaman. Shaman gets tired, as we saw in his last fight against Matt Sales. When Matt Sales was fresh as a daisy in the third round, Shaman was pretty tired in the third round. Shaman doesn't also set up his shots with a lot of. He just throws overhand rights and just doesn't set up clean, straight shots. When Julio Arce does, he punches very straight and is very, very calculated in how he strikes. I got Julio Arce here, and I got him inside the. Actually, I think it might go to the decision. I think 30-27 him. But I got him in a parlay with Burgos 4.1 units. Julio Arce and Chain Burgos -137.
Okay. Yeah. I got I don't know, man. I got Julio Arce in this fight. I checked out his Golden Gloves boxing fight. If you check that out, he won a Golden Gloves championship while he was also kind of competing in MMA, and really good boxing. Good hands up, knows when to use it, but he can also have his hands down and kind of be anywhere. He's that type of puncher who can make it work from anywhere. He's got good enough speed on his hands. so that so you can catch from different kind of angles, or having a low hand or having a high hand, making opponents really pay if they miss and they want to stand with them. Lots of left hooks in your face and jabs. Arce has actually some great submissions too. A lot of rear nakeds, and when he gets you on the floor and starts hitting the ground and pound, as opponents start to turn, he'll start to turn and take that back. He's got a piston left hook. He had a fight in a Matrix Fight League with Kenneth Nagal, and pretty much knocks his mouth guard out. Check that knockout if you want to see how his left hand is. Shaman Moraes obviously lost that fight with Zabit, and Zabit is a difficult fight to have as well, especially he lost from the ground and pound and a lot of kicks. But he's got a good pace for knees. Even if he does get caught a few times coming in, especially to get them, he switches stances, and punching is something that he can do at any time. Especially when he switches stances, he'll throw the right hook, switches stances, throws the left hook. I like that a little bit. I like how he's got a good lead hook, and he's got a good takedown defense as well, getting his underhooks in when he can, and he still defends well. But I think Julio Arce has better hands, and he can probably win most of the stand-up fight. If it gets grueling, I mean, maybe Moraes can win it off of guts, just coming forward, throwing those knees and trying to get the kicks out. But I think Julio Arce hasn't beaten the hand speed. So.
Yeah. Next up, we got Saunders, Eubanks, John, the Happy Warrior, Roxanne Modafferi. Fucking all right. So Sarge missed weight this morning at 127.2. She missed by 1.2 pounds. She didn't look super drawn out or anything. I don't know if she gave up. I don't know what the fuck happened there, but she missed weight, and it wasn't a good sign after all the shit she was talking, especially considering she was going to make UFC 230 a main event, and it was going to be for the flyweight championship. I don't know how she was going to get to 125.
Ben Askren called her out on that.
Yeah, no kidding. I think here's a replay of what happened, though. If you go watch their first fight, it's just Jacare completely what's Roxanne's way to win here? Well, she's gonna have to grapple, and she's gonna have to certify top position. That didn't happen in the first fight. You can clearly see in the first fight. If you don't, you're fucking stupid. That in the first fight, Jacare Eubanks is clearly the better clearly the better grappler out of the two. This is a girl who beat Mackenzie Dern in the fucking IBJJF World Championships, okay? She's top quality at jiu-jitsu. Top quality jiu-jitsu. So don't forget, she might be 3-2. Her jiu-jitsu is fucking top quality. Don't forget about that shit. And she's taking out Roxanne Modafferi, and Jacare Eubanks' hands are ever improving, working with Mark Henry in that realm. And I think she's just going to look real good here. I think she's going to look real crisp. Roxanne Modafferi striking is fucking horrible. I think Jacare Eubanks pieces her up, takes her down, and submits her. So I got Jacare Eubanks in a 4-unit parlay with somebody later in the card.
Didn't Roxanne get like a knockout with her elbow?
Like in her career?
Yeah, it's for her last fight. Didn't she like get an elbow knockout?
She might have stopped it with elbows.
Pretty sure.
Yeah, bar punch guy.
But she's been coming up, man. It's a lot of she's taken a lot of fights outside of the UFC after she left from that one season, and obviously she
this fucking horrible.
She makes it work though.
No, she gets hit almost 6 significant strikes per minute. Jacare Eubanks is gonna light her ass off. It was like the first fight. This fight's already happened.
Yeah,
This
it
fight's
did.
already happened.
That was a rough fight to watch. I thought Roxanne got a few tricky punches in, though. She sneaks a few in. Obviously, she has to take a lot of punches.
But she was scared of Jacare. You can see it.
Yeah, the body shots. The body shots. That fight had Eubanks really going for those.
Yeah, and she hits hard. Eubanks hits hard, man.
I think if Eubanks has the exact same strategy, and I mean like exact, I'm talking body shots, lots more ground pressure as well, I think she can even take it in shorter time.
I think she finishes it this time. Last time she got it 30-27, but I think she finishes it this time. So who are you going with, sir?
Yeah, I got Sir Eubanks.
All right, next up we got Jason Knight. We got going to Rinaldi. Fucking going down to featherweight here. We do a featherweight. None. You got fucking mauled. I'm watching the end of the first round right now. When he finishes them, and Gregory fucking mauled him. But I think we beat Herrera or whatever his name is.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
With the Von Prue choke.
Did he? Did he get him?
Yeah.
Wow.
Pretty sure.
He's going against Jason the Kid Knight here, who is, I don't know, Jordan Rinaldi might be a better grappler. And Jason the Kid Knight's been working at Team Alpha Male, but I don't know, I don't trust his wrestling. I trust his striking. I think Knight might be able to get Jordan Rinaldi out of there. It's a good fight, but I'm going with Jason Knight here.
Jason Knight, man, super good submission game. Some even crazier strikes, I have to admit. He's had to fight some big opponents in the UFC, like Gabriel Benitez. If you're on the ground, especially against him, his hands are going off on the ground and pounds. Choked out Bruce Leroy really nicely. And yeah, Leroy is a little off, but he could be tricky for a few opponents, and he definitely throws some crazy, risky shots. Jason Knight has good pressure. Does not mind taking a punch to land a punch. Which is Jim Alders. Which again, I recommend you watch the Jim Alders fight. That's an awesome scrap. Split decision, right?
Who?
Jim Allers.
Where's Jason Knight?
Yeah. That was like a split that Jason won, I think.
That was like his first fight or no, that was his second fight.
Oh.
Yeah, I think Jason Knight won that split.
Okay. Yeah. That was an awesome scrap, actually. I'm probably gonna watch that after. I remember that fight. Jordan Rinaldi, though, he'll beat you up when you're on the fence and keep you there if you let him. Swarms you with punches all around, body, head, and a few looping punches. Has gotten submissions and takedowns, getting to opponents' back and backpacking them to the ground. I really like that. I like when anyone can kind of put that body triangle on opponents, go from the back, and pretty much be standing. A good ground and pounder as well. Puts up a lot of good tough fight on the ground. Has a good lean back right hand, really knows how to keep the frequency high, and good in really good spots. Beat up and beat up Herrera and put on the Von Prue choke. So I'm actually going for Jordan Rinaldi in this one.
Are you?
Super impressive, yeah.
Jordan Rinaldi, wow. Okay. Next up, we hit the main card. We got Israel, the last stylebender, Adesanya, take on Derek Brunson. This is my biggest play of the night. I got 6 units on Israel Adesanya.
Wow.
At minus 275. I simply think he's going to be able to stuff any takedown that Derek Brunson shoots. I think Derek Brunson's going to shoot very sloppy.
Mm.
Um, and he's going to expose Derek Brunson on that night. Derek Brunson's a horrible striker. And Stylebender is a fantastic striker.
Yeah.
Like levels, just levels above Derek Brunson. He's going to piece him up bad. And he's going to finish him in probably the second round. He's going to fucking... This is going to be a coming out party for Stylebender. People are going to be like, wow, this guy's the real fucking deal, man. He loved it against Tavares, but he shows it against Brunson. I guarantee you, he shows it against Brunson. So I got 6 units on him at minus 275.
Yeah, I was watching that Jacare fight, and I really like it. Don't get me wrong. I even think Derek Brunson was blasting.
He got knocked out by Jacare, man. Like, come on, Jacare is so fucking stiff.
Nah, man. Jacare hit him with a bomb.
Jacare is a horrible striker.
He's hitting him with left hooks going backwards while getting hit. That's badass. What do you mean?
He's not a good striker, man. He's very stiff.
He hit him with a huge head kick.
And he Muay Thai kick.
Not a good striker.
Nice head kick, but like it's not like that guy's a good striker, bro. That guy put him against fucking Stylebender and see if he's a good striker.
I don't know, man. This guy had like what 7 wins in a row before.
Submission.
Before he's like, still, man. It's all part of the game.
No, man. I just said he's not a good striker. Submissions have nothing to do with striking.
No, but the pressure that you bring in the ring with that is still there. You know what I mean? So if you miss, you know what's coming. Or like if you go to the ground, you know what's coming. Yeah, if you're standing and striking, it's obvious.
If you think Jacare's a good striker, man, Damian Maia's a good striker.
Well, I don't know. It's all part of the presence at least in MMA. It's all just part of what you bring, right?
I think Jacare is just like a pressure guy. We'll talk about Jacare when he comes.
Yeah.
Jacare is just not a striker at all.
I like how Brunson can at least put the pressure on you, really backs people up, counters anybody who's kind of lets him rest and is too slow. But again, the head kick that he took from that fight worries me because, like you said, Jacare isn't that good striking. I get it, but I just think he's high level in there. But I mean, Adesanya's kicks are going to come way faster, way quicker, and just at a different time. He's got great speed. He'll be able to move around Brunson pretty easily. If he does want to wrestle, I think Adesanya will be quick enough to even freestyle his way out of a few things. I don't think you should let kind of Brunson get to the late rounds because maybe his experience might go into play. Brunson's a pretty big body, so I think if he does get Adesanya to the floor, it could be a little trouble, but he's going to have a real tough time to take him down.
I think it's going to be hard to keep him down. I think Adesanya is hard to keep down.
Even with presence alone, but I mean, Adesanya just has some time-stopping abilities in there or something. I wouldn't even be surprised if he finishes this with like a crazy spin kick or something. So I got Adesanya, and I think he does something special.
Next up, Carl Roberson, Baby K, taking on Jack the Hammer Marshman. And I got 4.5 units on Carl Roberson. At great odds, I got minus 225. And he's going at minus 280 right now, minus 290. Yes, like that. But very happy about that. 4.5 units, minus 225. Carl Robinson, he's just a better striker here. Jack Marshman's a very good boxer if we're talking boxing and stuff. But this is a guy who fought Jerome fucking LeBanner and Carl Robinson in his glory kickboxing debut. In his professional kickboxing debut, he fought Jerome LeBanner. Just a fucking what a monster he is, Carl Roberson. And you go watch some of his kickboxing fights, and he lets people up pretty quickly. I believe he was 0-2 under the glory banner, though. He wasn't super successful and gory, but man, um, that guy's got some devastating kicks. And he's not only a striker. If you go watch his fight against Darren Stewart, you go see him take him, throw a lateral drop, take Darren Stewart's back, choke him out. That's what he can do to Jack Marshman as well. Play him, take him down, beat the fuck out of him, choke him out. But I think the kicks are going to be too much. I think the striking is going to be too much. I think Carl Roberson fighting at 205 before and Jack Marshman wanting to go down to 170, not being able to make it. I think that's going to play a factor. I think the power is going to play a factor in Carl Roberson. And I got Carl Roberson all day here. 4.5 units, minus 225.
Yeah, Jack Marshman has a deadly punch swing, but really frontline and center for the 1-2s. And he was hit early in his fight with Thiago Santos. Had a bit of a slow start in that fight. Starts to throw some wild swinging hooks, though, and landed, too. Great stop-and-go punch. He was able to kind of time that when Santos threw his kick. I'm pretty sure that he caught Santos and most other opponents, at least before they do well in their fight. Even when getting hit by some laser folks, even walking into a few kicks and some spinny stuff, but he'll land if you land, especially if it's a kick. Did lose that Thiago fight, but I mean, I thought he landed some pretty big punches there anyway. Carl Roberson, man, do not sleep on him because he's got short shots that just wreck giants. I mean, I think he knocked out that guy in the contender series with like a short knee, or sorry, a short elbow, against the fence. And he just dropped. Please check out his fight with Dustin Jacoby on Glory. That's a great fight. And Dustin Jacoby has crazy double kicks, and that's no easy task to fight him. Great high kicks and a good eye for a nice straight left to the body. Really good at landing that shot. I do think he'll be able to outstrike Jack Marshman just with his eyes alone. He'll see everything. It'll be interesting as this fight gets late. I don't know. I can actually see Jack Marshman landing some low swinging punches, but I still got Carl Roberson, at least for just total overall striking in that one. So it's still a dangerous fight for him. But I got Carl Roberson.
Yeah, it's definitely a dangerous. Well, when you're facing someone with that kind of power and that kind of punch, it's a dangerous fight. But I think he's levels above in the striking category.
When you're swinging, you just got to hit once.
It just shows these gory guys, like, it doesn't matter. These gory kickboxers, like in Adesanya and Carl Roberson, they're just on another level in striking. They just understand striking at another level than most people do, and it's scary. Next up, we got David Branch taking on Jared the Killer Gorilla Cannonier, and this is the other half of my parlay. My my 4-unit Sakura Eubanks David Branch parlay at minus 189. Pretty simple here. The way I see it going, I see David Branch being able to contest with Jared Cannonier's shots. Sorry, I was just looking at the under 2.5 here. It's minus or plus 110. I'm really liking that. I might take a stab at that. But David Branch here, I think the way it goes out is if he gets that takedown on Jared Cannonier, I think he's going to be able to get that submission. And the submission on Jared Cannonier is going to will probably be a rear naked choke, but he's probably going to work his ass off to fucking have to fight on the ground here. It's going to be difficult for Jared Cannonier. We saw him against Jacare. It was bad, man. He has no ground skills. His takedown skills are pretty. He needs to learn how to defend the takedown. And I understand he made moves to like MMA Lab and stuff to help himself, but it's not working. David Branch is a more experienced fighter. He fought at 205 before, man. This guy's a two-time or two-division weight champion of World Series of Fighting. And if you should go watch that Rockhold fight against him. His last fight knocks out Thiago Santos. Knocks out Thiago Santos, first of all.
Looping overhand.
Okay, and I believe I had 5 units or 3 or 5 units I had on Thiago Santos. But just fucking knocks him out. And then against Luke Rockhold, after he got beat up on the ground. But first of all, Jacare is not going to be a ground threat. We know that. But Luke Rockhold couldn't stand with Branch, man. Branch was lighting his ass up. With the boxing. And then with Jocko, he took Jocko down, showed him it wasn't a very eventful fight, but he showed him he's the better fighter, and Branch won that fight too, man. He was 2-1 in the UFC. Cannonier got knocked out last fight against Dominic Reyes. I think the fight that exposes him the most in this fight is over Teixeira, just showing the relentlessness that he doesn't really have that a get-up game yet and a takedown defense on par yet. So I'm taking David Branch 4 units. This is Jar Eubanks at -189.
It's crazy to think, Jared Cannonier beat up Ian Kudalaba, man, on the Ultimate Fighter finale.
Yeah.
Whatever. So that's pretty big. But, I mean, since then, he's lost to Jan Blachowicz and Dominic Reyes, Dominic Reyes hasn't lost a fight. And Jan Blachowicz is on a ridiculous run right now. I don't think he's lost in 4. So he's definitely fought and lost against some guys who are doing some incredible stuff. I think I do agree that his ground game isn't there like it already is for David Branch, especially since David Branch has some great boxing that he displayed against Luke Rockhold in the first round, was able to really back him up and kind of put him in danger. And hell, Luke Rockhold had to wait until David Branch was done what he was doing in order to kind of get back into it. His fight with Thiago Santos, I didn't have him picked in that one either. I thought he would actually get finished in that one. But, came out of nowhere, threw a big looping right hand. Even he shrugged his shoulders at the end, was like, hey, I'll take it. And, it was a well-done fight. I like both fighters in this. I wouldn't actually call this one for Jared Cannonier because it's still pretty close for him to land his big punch, because I think even though David Branch is great on the ground, he does stand for a while. And he likes to punch. He's won a lot of fights by knockout. So, obviously, I think he has a better overall game, but anything can kind of happen. I don't know, man. I can see Cannonier taking it. I do agree. If it gets to the ground, it's completely one-sided. But on the stand-up, man, this guy's still pretty dangerous.
Bro, he didn't lose in 5 years. Before Rockhold?
On
5 years ago.
He was a double champ. He was killing it.
You know who it was 5 years ago? Anthony Johnson, who he lost to. He's killed at Paulo Fiu, Jesse Taylor, Yushin Okami, Vinny Margules, Luis Taylor, Chris Jocko, name it. You name it. He's knocked them out.
He's knocked them out.
Something's telling me this might be a finish.
I got the Cannonier.
All right. So next up is our co-main event, and we got Chris, the All-American Weidman, taking on Rinaldo, Jacare Souza. These are 2 of my favorite fighters, man. I love these guys. This is a big good fight. It was originally Chris Weidman versus Luke Rockhold and David Branch versus Jacare. The way I see this one going down is like Chris might not be scared to go to the ground with Jacare.
Probably not.
black belt in jiu-jitsu. Andrew Gracie black belt. Um, all American wrestler. Very good on top. Very good ground game. He might not be scared to go to the ground with Jacare. But I think he has the power. We've seen this matchup so many times in jiu-jitsu versus wrestler. Colby Covington versus Damian Maia, Kamaru Usman versus Damian Maia, Jacare versus Whitaker, Jacare versus Gastelum. And Gastelum was not as big as Weidman, which is something here. Better boxing, but not as big as Weidman. I think Chris Weidman's going to be able to negate any takedowns from Jacare. He's going to be able to defend any takedowns, and he's going to be able to keep us at a boxing range, the stand-up range. He's going to be able to box him up. He's got some good boxing, Chris Weidman. And he's going to be able to box him up and use leg kicks, and I think he gets the job done there. I think he might be able to finish Jacare with a nasty overhand right. So I got 5 units on Chris Weidman at -170. I'm very confident in Chris to get this job done.
You know what? I like the opponent. I mean, Jacare Souza, great last minute opponent. Jacare had a crazy fight with Gastelum, crazy, and especially off of the Derek Brunson win. So I mean, you have a lot of. I mean, he won a striking battle in a fight where he wasn't really supposed to win it, and then lost against Calvin Gastelum. But I mean, Calvin Gastelum's up there now, so I mean, what do we say? I think when it does go to the ground, Weidman does have a lot of defense for what Souza has, but Souza's just super strong. He can kind of bulldoze people over, really gets on people's ground pound, and starts to smother a lot of the punches. And he might not be that good on the stand-up, but he does tend to zombie forward and get those weird strikes. And when you think that you're rallying yours, like I thought Derek Brunson landed a good 4-punch combo right before getting hit by the big head kick. So expect to see Souza get hit by a few rallied punches, but land one big single, or at least go for it. It's up to Weidman to really block or whatever. But Weidman, yeah, man, still super high level. Not the went on a bit of a train wreck early with the Luke Rockhold fight, the Yoel fight. You know, lots of finishes, but he came back real strong on the Calvin Gastelum fight, which who actually beat Jacare. So I think obviously Chris Weidman was ready to fight Luke Rockhold, who has his hands down the entire time, and I think he'll be able to strike up Souza a lot actually on the stand-up, just because he's not fighting Luke Rockhold. Luke Rockhold's a little sneakier and actually gave him a lot of trouble with the hands down. Whereas I don't think Jacare could give Weidman a too big of a disadvantage. Weidman's got a great block and elbow. He used it against Mark Munoz in their fight. I really like that combo. I'd like him to throw one of those actually. Super good. And he was champ for a while after the Anderson Silva fight. I think he takes it as well. Just because of that Kelvin Gastelum fight, Chris Weidman.
Yeah, man.
I think that kind of edges it out for me, especially because he finished that one.
Yeah, I think so too. I think he's a better fighter here.
And even the Luke Rockhold loss, he still went for broke on that spinning back kick after being ground and pounded in the third round. Yeah, Luke, I think that shows balls.
Luke fucked his day up though.
Oh yeah. But I mean, that's desperation, and he went for it. So
against Mousasi, man.
Yeah.
When he got kneed. That was a good fight.
That was a good fight.
And he did beat Yoel Romero in the first round before he was beating Yoel Romero. And then Yoel Romero finished him in the third round with that flying knee.
I think Gegard needed a bit of a second win.
Yeah, well, Gegard fucking got that illegal knee.
Yeah.
And then, a legal knee, but Chris thought it was illegal.
Yeah.
And they were telling Chris it was illegal. And then
were they actually?
Yeah, they were telling him it was illegal, and he has five. They were telling him he has 5 minutes, and then but he didn't have 5 minutes or something. You know what? I'm gonna watch the end of that.
Show.
I have it right here. Because he was pissed, Weidman.
Yeah, for sure.
They're in the ring right now. I'm watching this. They're in the octagon talking to him. He has no clue what's going on. Now, neither guy has any clue what's going on. Yeah, man. They called it he's flipping out. That was fucked. I forgot how fucked up that was.
After they said he has 5 minutes.
Yeah, man.
That's
and
pretty fucked up.
They called it a TKO. And he was fine. And people are saying that was the beginning of the end for him and shit. Bro, he was fucking fine.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That sucks. That sucks balls, bro. At least he got that Kelvin Gastelum one after that.
True.
But yeah, I got 5 units and Chris Weidman at -170. Let's go. Okay, for main event time, Daniel DC Cormier taking on Derek the Black East Lewis. And man, this is actually one, like, if Daniel's not watching his P's and Q's,
yes,
he can be in trouble. But I think Daniel knows what he has to do here. As the grind that Derek Lewis has up against a cage, striking, grind him up against the cage, take him down, submit him. And I think he does that in the second round. I think he finishes him rather quickly. I think he runs through Derek Lewis. I think this is Derek Lewis's hardest fight. Derek Lewis didn't have the cardio, the condition to keep up with the grind of Daniel Cormier. This is a home run, man. This is fucking Daniel Cormier all day. I think he retains his title, fights Brock Lesnar, calls it a
career?
Calls it a career, man. Calls it a career after that.
He's having a good one.
Yep. He's fucking. You can say he's one of the best of all time. After knockout Stipe, #1 pound for pound.
Yeah.
Just know that this would be a very tough fight and one that DC would not have taken on short notice if it was Alexander Volkov who won not too long ago.
Well, there is one person he would have taken it with. Ryan Bader.
Yeah, if Ryan Bader was back in the UFC. He said that's the easiest fight ever.
I still like that line.
Derek fucking against Volkov, he got lit up. Oh my goodness, he got lit up against Volkov. Volkov fucking lit his shit up, man. And brought it to the third round, last 10 seconds, Derek Lewis gets a knockout, last 10 seconds. So if those last 10 seconds Volkov played it smart, he wouldn't have this matchup right now. This would be very different right now. But we do, and I'm happy we get to watch this. So I got Daniel Cormier, no bet. Odds are too high, I believe. I didn't want to parlay him with anybody. I just want to watch this fight. I just want to see him do work. I love DC. Yeah, so I got Daniel Cormier all day, second round. So.
Yeah, I think you put it real good. I think DC has to watch his P's and Q's in there, but he knows that, and I think his wrestling will be able to, it will be more than enough to beat up Derek Lewis. I watched Derek Lewis on the embedded, kind of wrestling a little bit, and I mean, it looks really choppy. I feel like the only real position that he has is that top game. If he gets a good side mount, if he gets like a good kind of resting top position, he'll kind of be able to control you. But DC being as big as him, if not around there, being a high level Olympic wrestler, will probably be able to get him off in no time. So I don't think the weight and the size difference will be too much, because I think Cormier will be able to be technical enough to stop that. But I don't think that he can pull off what he did against Stipe on Derek Lewis. That clinch game and that kind of that probing and big kind of right hook off of the breaks. I just don't think that's going to work against Derek Brunson, because that's when Brunson Lewis. I don't know why I said Brunson there. That's when Derek Lewis starts to work. He's got one hand and it's a right hand. Again, he's King Hippo. He has huge, heavy punches. If he has enough energy and if you let him wait, if you wait around for him, he will answer with a 1-2 or just a one big, cannon. Obviously, he's got a swing and a miss kind of mentality, and a lot of people after he misses tend to kind of sit back and take their time, but you really should get him out of there as quick as possible. After he was taking strikes against Volkan, it was weird because he had his head in his hands against the fence, and they didn't stop the fight. It was weird. I thought he was taking a lot of punishment, a lot of kicks. I think the ref asked him if he was okay a few times, and then I think he got like an eye poke rest, which really bumped his stamina up. You have to hope that you get no rest with Derek Lewis in the ring. If the ref either stands you up or rests or lets him kind of, rest after an eye poke or low blow, you're giving Derek Lewis like more time and more juice to put on that right hand. It's always looming, even if it's like the last 5 seconds, 10 seconds of the fight. But I think Daniel Cormier will be able to deal with that. He's been able to do it. A lot of fighters with a lot of big punches and kicks. Really only got destroyed by Daniel Cormier, but that was a huge kick that I don't see Derek Lewis landing. It's still a dangerous fight for DC, and he does know it. So I think he'll be careful. So I think he gets him to the ground. I think he outpoints him, and I think he's going to keep Derek Lewis hustling and always on the defense, too much to really attack or post a big offense. And I think if Derek Lewis misses, he's going to get hit. But if he does land, he can get Cormier on wobbly feet. That's where his chances are. But I don't really see a repeat on the Volkov fight if it's 5 rounds. So I got Daniel Cormier.
Yep.
For both the long haul.
All right, guys. That was their UFC 230 breakdown. I'll throw the timestamps in there in a bit. Let's cash this weekend. Let's get this money. And let's cash this weekend, eh, boys?
Cash it in. Good luck, everyone.
Everyone, cash it in. Cashing in. Unless you're in guess any of my picks, then I hope you don't cash. Hope you don't cash. Hope you don't. Because I got sick picks this week. I got sick ones. But yeah, see you guys. Have a fucking good one.
Have a good one.